Reese's Nutrageous. Then you take a bite and it blows your eyeballs to Pluto, kicks your ribs to the roof of your mouth, pounds your taste buds into a simpering puddle of pulp and leaves you for dead. Want one, don't ya? Reese's Nutrageous, so loaded.
Peanut caramel?
You don't eat it, you survive it.
And we're back on 89.7 KLES FM. My name is Richard Harris. And I just said I wasn't going to say and we're back, and I just did. The hodgepodge section in our final 12 minutes is I like to talk about a bunch of things in sports. And I started to talk to you a minute ago about how one Tiger Woods is playing well in the Masters. Shooting 6 under today, or 5 under today. No, 6 under today. And the golf world needs Tiger Woods to start to compete well again. He needs to become relevant because, yes, we love the fact that the Europeans have taken over all the sports. They've taken over tennis. They've taken over golf. And Rory McIlroy is still leading after the first 2 rounds. But as far as the PGA Tour is concerned, we need Phil. We need Tiger. We need Ricky Fowler. We need Steve Stricker. We need to legitimize our tour, because if the Europeans are taking over our tour and having their tour, it's not interesting to watch. Yes, he's dropped to the 7th player in the world. And yesterday he easily could have shot even better than he did. He only shot 1 under yesterday, but at least today he put it together, even getting off to a slow start today. And it's great to see. And I hope that he sticks around all weekend long and gets it done. Phil today, kind of an indifferent round. But he's good enough to put together, a 66 tomorrow and get himself back into contention. But the story, like I've said a second ago, are these international players. Rory McIlroy has been touted as the next great player from Europe for the past couple of years. And I guess he's finally living up to that potential. Mr. Kyrgios yesterday was special, but I guess today he dropped. He only lost 1 shot today, but, he hits the ball real far. But the Masters is a bomber's course. If you can keep the ball in the fairway or put it in places where you can reach the fairway, or reach the green, and stay off those hills and stay off those angles, you'll be fine. And that's why Tiger plays well there, and that's why Phil plays well there, because they know that there's certain spots on the course where they can hit the ball and, get it done. And speaking of European dominance, how about Novak Djokovic? He's yet to lose a match in tennis this year. He's 24-0, and he's not playing against the best players. He's facing the best players and beating them, beating both Nadal and Federer to win tournaments, and Murray. Now, the clay season's about to start in a few weeks, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to continue his dominance. But he has been sharp, and I think what he's done, he's taken the momentum of leading his country to the Davis Cup title, giving them their first ever Davis Cup title, and parlayed it into a successful season. And that's what I was saying to you earlier about how UConn's women's basketball team, not being able to play the team that they wanted to play, they just got let down. Well, Djokovic has taken it the other approach. Djokovic has had success and said, you know what? We're world champions, and I'm taking what I've done for my country and putting it into my individual game and dusting off anyone that comes my way. And it's impressive. But where are the American tennis players and men? I mean, we know in the women's game, Serena is injured, and, Venus is, she's getting to her last legs. But what has happened to us in American tennis, in both the men's and the women? Andy Roddick has been a great ambassador, but we just don't seem to have the superstar players that we once did. And I know a lot of people think that that's kind of belly aching in a way, but the reality is, it's like New York sports, and I said this to you like 4 weeks ago. When a New York team is involved in professional sports, playing for a title or playing for something significant, there's a different buzz about sports. It's the same with golf and Tiger Woods. It's the same in football when the Giants are good or the Jets are good, when the Yankees are good, when the Knicks are good like they are. When there's an American player that the world kind of gets behind, like a Jimmy Connors, like a John McEnroe, like an Andre Agassi. They weren't too crazy too much about Pete Sampras because Pete kind of, he was a robot, so he didn't really, he didn't give good interviews, and he sort of, people just kind of dismissed a lot of things that he did. But Agassi let the fans in, Andy Roddick lets the fans in. The fans like Andy Roddick, but the bottom line is when there's an American player involved, it means a lot to even the players that they play against because they enjoy beating us so badly and so much. So let's hope that, we are developing something somewhere that will allow that to happen and that, our great golfers right now will reemerge and retake the throne that it seems that they've vacated. And we'll be back in our final segment on 89.7 KLAS-FM Class Radio after this.
Including expert collision work, LA Radiator on Santa Monica Boulevard is the place to go. Located just a few steps